kids all over our district. You know, I'm really excited to work closer with the United Way. You know, it gets a little bit to the heart of my philosophy with education, that all of us working together, both at the school site and in the community, to provide really takes us to the next level. As Kaylee mentioned, you know, our goal is to take it from around 100,000 to 150 to really increase our giving, and it really will not take much to get there in terms of your paycheck or the deductions. So I think that it's a reasonable goal, and it's something that we can do to really step up and help fundraise, for them, because we're really all in this together. So I wanted to go over briefly just the timeline. This was kind of a new year kind of kickoff, and we understand how much has been asked of you guys at the school sites. As a teacher for 15 years, my heart goes out to everything that you guys are doing. But one thing that's really great about this campaign is that the United Way is there with us every step of the way. So, we presented to Cabinet on the 19th. We did principal meeting in which you guys were hopefully connected with your principal last week on the 20th. I was thinking kind of 2000 and late in the in-person champion kickoff, but I think the virtual suits us better. This little hour kind of overview, we're operating on a different platform, and this gives us the ability to connect quick and do it kind of like in a strategic way. So that's the 27th. Now, we do have this campaign running for 4 weeks, so ending at the end of February. And so we really want to be precise in how we are approaching, the fundraising and getting people to sign up and using the QR code and understanding and selecting, connecting really with what these things, what these donations are going to. That's one of the things that I really enjoyed looking at, is that you can kind of direct where the money is going through the United Way. So that's fantastic. So we have division and school campaigns, and you guys will be getting material from Kaylee and from myself over the next 4 weeks. We really do appreciate you guys stepping up and being champions. You already recognize the importance and what the United Way brings in conjunction with the school district. Kind of like the 92 Dream Team. You've got Michael Jordan, and then now we also have Magic Johnson together. So we really do appreciate the champions being on. I see a lot of familiar faces, and I like I said, my heart goes out to you guys at the school sites. Just know that the United Way, if you have an ask or if you have a need, that they can assist in making that happen. I do want to kick it off to Miss Joy, President and CEO of the United Way of Lee, Hendry, and Glades. So thank you, Miss Joy, for being on. And the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Malloy, and thank you, Kaylee. And thank you to all of you on this call today. Truly, you have been heroes in our community. I cannot imagine dealing with everything that you have had to over these past 2 years. It has been absolutely incredible. So thank you. 27 years ago, I was actually a teacher at Gulf Middle School, and I was working for Dr. Adkins at the time. I received my first United Way pledge card. I put it in the trash. I didn't even recycle it. I put it in the trash. Okay. I had no idea what United Way was at the time. I had no idea of what they were doing in the community. And I really thought, honestly, I'm a first-year teacher. I don't have any money to spare, and I'm just not doing this. And within 6 months' time, I started volunteering for United Way. My sister was a volunteer. She asked me to volunteer for something. Next thing I knew, I was working for United Way. And that's because I really found out exactly what United Way was doing in our community. And I'm proud to say that United Way of 2022 is much different from that United Way back in 1994. We have definitely increased our partnership with the school district. There are so many wonderful things that we are doing together to help our students, to help the faculty and staff. You're going to hear in a little bit from Angela Jackson about our community partnership schools. We have 2 of them now, absolutely phenomenal. And then I know a lot of you, we were actually able to visit with $500 gift cards, $500 worth of gift cards from public supermarkets earlier in the year. And we were so thrilled to be able to do that for all of you. So I just wanted to say thank you for all of that. And then I just want to give you a little overview of a couple of short, quick examples of how United Way is helping. And this is recently. So we had a gentleman come through our We Care program. And our We Care program is actually for uninsured people who hit a certain threshold for income. And we help them find specialty care when they're not insured. Well, we actually had a gentleman come in who was diagnosed with esophageal cancer. He had just started a new job, but his insurance wasn't going to kick in for a little bit. And he needed treatment immediately. And within a week, we were able to get him into a specialty doctor to start his treatment. And then once his insurance kicked in, he was able to go on his own insurance. That was a school district employee, and that was this fall. And so it's amazing how one little program can actually help save lives. And then I was on Facebook this weekend, or it was last weekend, and I actually saw one of the board members share a post about a student you had who was affected by the tornadoes. And apparently his bedroom was one of them that he lost everything. He needed clothes, he needed shoes, all of that stuff. So immediately I said, we need to get the school counselor in touch with our school resource center and make sure that we get him what he needs. And come to find out, our school resource center person, Adeline, when she reached out, the young man had two other brothers. And so we were able to connect, get the clothes, get the shoes, get the hygiene products. But we found out that his brothers, what they really needed was laundry detergent because they were trying to wash the stuff that they had. So we were also able to provide them with gift cards from Publix to go out and purchase that stuff that they needed to replace and also restock some of the food. And that happened immediately as soon as we found out. These resources are available to your students. We have resources available for the staff, for your families. I know you all hear trials and tribulations every day of the struggles that people are going through. The United Way is here to help. We're here for everyone. So by supporting this campaign, whether it's $1 a pay period or $5 a pay period or whatever you can afford and whatever your coworkers can afford, you truly are saving lives and making a difference, not just for your coworkers and the students that you're interacting with, but for the whole community. So we want to thank you for being on this call again, because you're the way we're going to help spread the message. So hopefully when somebody gets that email, they don't just put it in the recycle bin because they don't know about United Way. You actually are able to share some of the great things that are going on in our community and how we can help them as well. So thank you so much for the opportunity to speak today.
Perfect. So thank you so much, Janine, for sharing with us this morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Kimberly Fay, and I am your liaison for the connection between United Way and the Lee County School District. I hope everyone had some coffee because we're going to go over a lot of stuff this morning. So hopefully, like Kaylee mentioned, you've received your champion bag, or you will be receiving it. So you do have it in front of you. If you do, just humor me and wave it right in front of you. You can see your colorful bag there. Perfect. I see a red one, light blue one, yellow, dark blue. I see the infographic. Perfect. You guys are awake. Mission accomplished. So if by now you have not had the opportunity to start taking it apart, we're going to do that right now on this call for you. And do not worry, if you haven't received it, you will receive it. So the very first thing you might have seen is this envelope that says you are a champion. And the reason that we put this, oh, I see somebody waving and I love that, is that you are the champion of your school, your division, of your coworkers, your colleagues for the United Way campaign. So you are either already aware about some of the programs that we're doing, or you really are going to take this so seriously because you know how important it is that we continue collaborating on all the different programs that we have. So go ahead and open that up for me, because we've actually have two items in there. One of them we're actually going to go over for you guys. I'm not going to read it to you. We're just going to go over the items that are in the bag. As Dr. Malloy mentioned, we have the campaign running for 4 weeks. That'll be kicking off today. So some of the links that you'll be seeing are live. You're able to access them, which we'll do that here in a minute. So keep drinking your coffee. It will actually end on February 25th. So as a champion, we want you guys to keep repeating that date to everyone, because what we want to do is make sure everyone understands we have some time, but we do want to stop at some point. Okay, that's the first thing on there. A couple of different items on here that we'll talk about later on. Your direct contact. We have Kaylee's information on here. Dr. Malloy, I'm sure, will be happy to help you guys all as well if you have any questions about the campaign. But I also added my business card as well. So if you do have things that maybe they're not able to answer, or you want to directly reach out to me, please feel free to do so. That is a very front portion, front top there of the bold. The very first item that is actually in this list is your thermometer. So I'm going to go ahead and share the screen virtually so you guys all can see the thermometer that we have available. You can't share? Kaylee, can you share the screen sharing with Eunice, please? Yep, so someone's got it open. Thanks so much, Elaine. So beautiful thermometers that you actually can put in the principal's office. We made a couple of jokes about this the other day, or the cafeteria, where you find that might be the most appropriate. What's really awesome about the thermometer is it has what's called the QR code. And if you have not utilized the QR code before, the QR code is very simple in that you open up your camera on your phone. Do not take a photo. Let the camera scan the QR code and it'll open it up for you. So if you all were just humor me, go ahead and take out your phones, open up your camera and let the camera scan that QR code. And if you'll just turn your screen to me and show me how you've got that. I'll give you guys all a minute. Some of you tucked your phones away, which is great. Perfect. So if you all have been able to access this, you can see that it's very accessible to get onto your link, your online giving link, which we'll actually go over that here in a second. So just hang tight to that. The second piece of material that you had in your champion bag was actually the collaboration infographic. Now, this is something that's ever changing because, as you all know, we have new resources that happen all the time, but this was a really, really easy way to sort of spotlight very quickly some of the different items and initiatives that we actually partner with you all about what we're doing. So, we talked about the school resource center a little bit. We do have programs like Reading Pals, but this is really for you guys to know and understand how many different ways we partner, and not even everything is on here, which is also fantastic about that QR code. If you have that open, the very top of that, it actually lets you know you can open this for the descriptions of every single program that we collaborate with the school district on. So it actually has pages and pages of very, very, very in-depth descriptions on each program, which is fantastic. You can hang this up anywhere you'd like. Again, it has the QR code, really easily accessible for anyone to fill out their online giving. As Kaylee mentioned, we want to try to utilize this online giving link as much as possible. The very next item that you have, if you flip over your sheet, if you're following along, we have a Scanlan Flyer. For a very, very long time, we've been partnering with Scanlan Auto Group, and every single year, we are actually able to raffle a vehicle based upon your giving. So if you give at, as it says here, $5 or more a week, that's about $10 a pay period, you're actually able to be entered into this raffle. And as I shared with Kaylee and also Dr. Malloy a few months ago, some of you that have been at the district for a little while know that we actually had someone from the district win the car, which is absolutely amazing. So if you already are giving, you already entered in for this year, which actually this year will be, I believe, a Lexus, changes out between Lexus and Acura. You can pick the color out. If you don't want it and you win it, I will take it, I promise, which is absolutely fantastic that we have that partnership. So it's another kind of easy way to incentivize you all to continue giving. And this is a great partnership that we have with Scanlan Auto Group. The next thing that you all have in your bags is a sheet of paper along with an envelope. Some of you are very familiar with doing your own fundraisers. Several schools have already done them, which is absolutely awesome. If you all decide beyond your one-time gifts and your payroll deduction, which we'll actually talk about that in a second, to do any kind of really cool fundraisers, maybe a bake sale, whatever you guys decide to do at the school level, you actually can utilize this report envelope. And then we can track individual donors, your school giving, because that'll be important. We'll talk about why that is in a second, but you can actually fill this out. And a lot of you are very familiar with this, but if you are not, you can actually fill out all the top portion of your school or department, the location code, usually a 4-digit, maybe 3-digit, your name as a champion. We like to keep track of that, and where your school is at. And if you have fully paid pledges, you get a little chart there on the bottom to help assist with that too. And once again, the QR code is on here as well. So the giving really is made easy by utilizing this QR code. A lot of us have our phones in front of us, and we're able to utilize it very, very easily, a lot quicker than filling out a paper form. You also have in your bags 2 more items. You have 2 bundles of rack cards. One of them is our 211 rack card, and the other ones are VITA. So this is more information about the 211 rack card itself. This is our non-emergency crisis line. So if you have an emergency, please know you're going to continue calling 911. But what happens after the house fire and your clothing was locked in your home and your food because you've left and all your important documentation? What happens? If you call 211, you're going to be directly connected to our care coordinator to help assist you and connect you right back into all of our programs and initiatives, not only that we partner with the school district on, but actually all the counties that we serve as well. We actually have over 245 different programs, and they range between food pantries. There's a couple of different items on here about childcare, housing, anything like that that is an emergency to you will also be an emergency to us. That's a 24-hour line. It does not stop working. Just because we're asleep, that 211 line does not sleep. Give you guys a stack of them to disperse. You can leave them, at your desk. You can disperse them to anyone that you see, families. If you need additional ones, we are happy to bring them over to the school district, deliver them via pony, deliver them to each school. We're happy to add some more to your pile there. And then the last item in your bag is actually a rack card for what's called VITA. We wanted to give you some really important resources that are happening now. So our VITA program actually stands for our Volunteer Income Tax Assistance. That's the actual acronym. And that is a program and initiative that is comprised of volunteers who are IRS certified and trained for preparing your taxes. And any household income that is $66,000 or less actually qualifies for this program, and it's absolutely free. And what you can do is you can actually make an appointment through either 211, or you can visit our website at unitedwaylead.org and actually make yourself an appointment. And by doing so, you can actually visit several what's called houses. And it's kind of like mini H&R Blocks during tax season, which is very appropriate for the time that we're having this kickoff, because a lot of us qualify for this program and it does not cost you anything. So when we talk about impact, it's actually towards the bottom of this screen here. Last year, this VITA program actually had about $12 million in impact, which is absolutely amazing. Just talking about our economy, our local economy, a service that's absolutely free to anyone that qualifies. And even if you're kind of on that threshold, they'll still be able to assist you and at least point you in the right direction or give you another link to be able to access that as well. I see a few people in the chat having some technical issues with the QR code. If you guys are having issues accessing it on an Android, if you'll try the paper one, that might be a little bit easier for you, or turn the brightness up on either your screen and or your phone. We've found that to be an issue sometimes as well. I do see Laura asks if the cards are available in Spanish. They absolutely are. If you turn over the rack cards themselves, they are actually in Spanish. I see Heather says the connection is not private. I'm unsure what that particular question might mean. Jackie, still having an issue. We can definitely work on individual issues with the QR code for you guys. Sometimes it might be a setting on your phone too. So we can definitely one-off and help assist you all as well. The very last thing that we actually included yesterday, I just mentioned that to Kaylee just a bit ago. You're very welcome, Jackie, is that someone wanted to be able to hand in, if they wanted to hand out anything paper-wise to any of the staff, what can I give them? What can I give everyone? So we actually have a link on our website, and Eunice is actually going to share that here in a second for us, where we've created a blanket donation form. It is not for your continuous giving. It is not for payroll deduction. And it does say that specifically on the sheet. We would love to drive you to the QR code. And if the QR code's not working still, you can definitely utilize the website that we have there as well. So we'll share that here in a second as soon as we're able to pull it up. So you can see that. And then we'll actually go back and show you your online giving link pledge form itself. So you actually have that ability to view that as well. Okay, so this is actually the pledge card that is blanket. It is not for payroll deduction. And it has this here in front of us as well. This is like one-time gifts. If you decided you didn't want to use the online giving link, you didn't feel comfortable doing that, and you still wanted something paper, you can definitely utilize this for cash, credit card, one-time gifts. And those specific donors would actually designate that to the champion. Then you use this report envelope that I've given you for that. Again, we'll drive you to the QR code. You can still utilize the online giving link for a one-time gift. You're still able to utilize that. But if you feel more comfortable utilizing this, or someone mentioned they wanted to hand them into mailboxes, then please feel free to utilize this. We did not give this to you in your bags, as this is a mainly virtual campaign. However, you do have the option to use this. We will send this out in an email to you. The first email communication will have this. And I am happy to print up lots of these, bring them over to the district. They can be delivered via pony. I'd love to coordinate with Kaylee to do that. We can drop them off to the school district or the schools themselves. So if you would like lots of copies and maybe don't want to print yourself, please communicate that with myself or Kaylee, and we'll make sure that you get as many copies as you would like, or we will send you that link in an email, and you please feel free to print this up at your leisure. This does still work in black and white. I did have that question happen yesterday too. Does it work in color? Does it work in black and white? You don't have to utilize color in your printers at your schools. You can definitely print it up in black and white and it still works. I would like the QR code to put in mailboxes. Perfect. So Lisa, if you'll just send me an individual email so I can actually coordinate directly with you, and I'd be happy to get them over to you as quickly as possible. Perfect. Courtney, yep. So if you all would like the paper forms themselves and not printed up, what we'll do is I'll coordinate with Kaylee, and we can get them right over to you, either the pony, we can hand deliver them. Either way, we are happy to do that as well. And the very last thing, we're going to pull up your online giving link itself. So if when you have the QR code itself, I'll share the screen here in a second. Okay, Jackie and Floor, I can print myself if you can email it to me. Floor, we are going to send this in an email communication because we're going to have 4 weeks of email communications. Not every day of 4 weeks, but we're going to have 4 weeks worth of email communications. We will send out the link. So anyone that would like this directly can either reach out to Kaylee or myself. You do have my information on that instruction sheet, and you do have my information on the instruction sheet. On a business card as well. So I'm actually going to pull up your online giving link so that those of you that do not have access to the QR code at this second can actually view that. Let me just go ahead and share my screen. All right. Okay, so for those that cannot view the QR code, this is actually what this looks like on your phone or on your computer screen if you decide to pull it up by the website. So it has your campaign date here. As I mentioned in the very beginning of the meeting, there is actually the descriptions located here for the infographic. So it actually gives you really, really great details. This is a continuous document, so we will continue to update the infographic and the descriptions as we learn of new programs or as they change. Very simple, very easy to do. It'll take me longer to go through this than it does for you to fill the information out. So you'll actually enter your first and last name here, your employee ID. Anything with an asterisk is a required field, so you will not be able to bypass any of these. We do want to track each individual employee in case we have Kaylee Rodden twice in the district. We do not, but if we did, we want to be able to identify her by her employee ID at that point. Your email address. Now you can put your personal email address, you can put your school one. This is really important for us to be able to track this, because when we do collaborate on additional things, like we over the summer were able to work with Community Impact and give you guys more than just school supplies. We're able to contact you and get you the stuff that you need. So whatever email is best to contact you for things like that, that is what we would like to see. You definitely want to enter your department and your location. So this is by school. As you can see, the majority of these are in alpha order. And then it goes by division, the second portion of that, which is absolutely amazing. Thank you to Kaylee for helping us provide that drop-down menu. You can also change your pledge here. So since you have continuous and rollover giving, if you decide that you want to remain the same, you do not do anything. You do not have to do anything at all whatsoever. Your gift will continue to roll over. You do also have some other options here, other amounts. That's one option on here. You can increase by $1. You can increase by any amount that's on here. So you're going to fill out, as Jenny mentioned, whatever you're the most comfortable with. You know, $1 a pay period, it goes a really, really long way. And as Kaylee mentioned, if everyone at the district gave $1 a pay period, you're over $300,000 for an entire campaign. And that really sets the bar and sets the tone for the community. And it shows really how strong the partnership is between the school district of Lee County and the United Way. The second thing on here, as I mentioned before, with these pledge cards that you're receiving, you can do your one-time gift in the pledge card. However, we made it really simple. You don't have to use the pledge card if you don't want to. It's actually here virtually. So you have the one-time PayPal option here as well. Right below, you'll actually see something that's very unique to the school district, which I think is fantastic. You can actually designate up to 50% of your gift to the programs that support the Lee County students and families. So all of those initiatives and infographics, Dr. Malloy, Kaylee, and a lot of other representatives thought this was super important, that you understood the collaboration between the school district just at a very low level, because we do so much more. You can actually designate right back to those programs. So if you know that students have been affected and they're getting items from the Student Resource Center, that might be one that you want to designate to. And if you leave it undesignated, it actually goes to all of the programs that we have. So if you're not sure and you don't want to pick, that's me. I don't want to pick because I think everything and everyone should get it. Then you don't have to mark anything here at all. However, you do have the great option to be able to do so. And then here is actually some additional options in case you selected 10%, and I'll go ahead and click that to show you. And you love reading pals because you have a reading pal in your school. You absolutely can select one particular one for 10% of your total gift to go to that program. And if you have any special notes, maybe you want to thank us, that would be fantastic to see something like that. Or maybe you want to tell us, you know, how the program has helped you, or maybe you want to say a different program that's not on here. You can actually add that into the special notes section here as well. Now, any changes that you submit, if you start doing this today, will not take effect until the end of February 2022. I'll actually venture beyond and say March, the first pay period in March. So when you make those changes, it will not be today that those changes will happen. It'll be probably on the first pay period for March that those changes will be reflected. And again, I will reiterate, this is continuous giving. So if you've given already, you do not have to do anything if you do not want to change your gift. You can absolutely increase. You can absolutely make a change to your pledge form, your pledge. But if you do not want to change anything, you do not have to do anything. It'll continue going for you. So it's very easy to continue your gift if you decide to do that as well. I'm actually going to stop sharing this screen now. So far, does anybody have any questions about this particular online giving link? I know we'll help you all address the QR code scanning issue. Anybody have any questions so far about anything we've gone over? No? Okay, I see some questions in the chat here.
About percentage of the donation that goes to operating versus program.
Sure. So actually, I think it was just recently reported that for overall, are you talking about overall programs, Adam?
Look like if they were to, maybe designate, like, let's just say an individual donor, if they were to designate school resource center, what percentage of that donation would go to operating school resource center versus program? I think that's the question from Ms. Bell.
Okay, I see this here, to operating costs versus direct to the program recipients. So I'm going to use the overall blanket for total programs and then kind of break down by what the school percentages have, because you have two different things here. So a little bit over 94% of our overall goal, which is actually $11.3 million, actually gets dispersed to all of our programs and initiatives, not just the collaboration initiatives that we have with the school district. Those are included in that overall number that I just talked about. But additionally, it's actually the over 90 partner agencies that we have as well. So the rest of that is actually broken up to administrative. So a very, very small portion of that overall goal actually goes to operating and things like that. We have a really strong community of volunteers, so we're actually able to keep the cost extremely low for that portion. And then I'll piggyback on that and let you guys know about the percentages that you're giving. If you give it the $1 a pay period, and you have $26 for the entire year, and it's going to depend on what percentage you decide that you want to go to the program itself. So if you designate within your gift, that gift portion, 100% of that's going right to the program. And I hope that answered that question. Great question too, by the way, Laura. I would like the paper ones as well. Fantastic. What we'll do is we'll get them over to the district. We can pony out to actually every single school. And if you don't use them, you don't use them. We'll do that.
Kimberly, I have a question.
Sure.
I just want to clarify, when we requested the paper, or at least when I request the paper ones, I would like a paper, at least a master copy of a paper flyer. I can make copies myself to put in boxes with the QR code on it, with a little explanation to our staff. But I want them to be able to be payroll deduct. The form you showed us, you said you couldn't do that.
Correct. So that form is actually, it includes your QR code. So you'll have a paper copy that has a QR code, so you can access the payroll deduction that way. And how long have you been at the district, Lisa?
Almost 30 years.
Okay, if you recall, 3 years ago, we actually stopped doing paper pledge copies as a request from one of the finance or payroll department in the district. So that's actually why we started going online. It was actually pre-COVID. We decided to do that. So I apologize that we don't have a payroll deduction paper copy, but you will get that paper copy that has the QR code.
Okay, so we can kind of design our own thing to put in box.
That paper that we have that I showed you, we will deliver that to you.
Okay.
And that's actually what you can put in your mailboxes. And
Perfect.
that QR code is taking place of what we used to do a couple of years ago. So it's still in
perfect
that we're doing. So you don't have to do any of that. We're going to deliver it right to you, Lisa. Don't worry about that.
Okay. Yeah, because it just by posting a poster and if you don't put it in the boxes, I just don't think the giving is going to be as much.
Sure. We're happy to bring those to you so you can put them in your mailboxes.
Okay, great.
And Lisa, an email link works really well. I know you have some staff that really they may not do email, but the email communication will be easy because they can click it right from there and go on and donate. But yeah, the whole reason we switched and don't allow the payroll deductions via paper is just when you have thousands of people donating, the finance department really it's not the best use of their time to put those in one by one. So we're able to export a spreadsheet by doing it online, and they're able to import it. So it just makes it easier.
I totally get that. I just want the QR code to put in their boxes.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'll definitely send the email as well.
And then just a clarification, so everybody knows, our administrative costs are 1.7%. The fundraising expenses are 3.9%, which that includes everything from materials you receive to staff time and processing and all of that. And then 94.4% actually goes to programs and agencies, which is actually phenomenally low. The national average is way above that, and the federal government has a guideline that they say 25% is acceptable, which here at United Way, we don't think that's acceptable. We think that it needs to be as low as possible. And this is the lowest that it has been in 25 plus years for our organization. So we're very proud of that.
Perfect. Thank you so much. You guys had some really great questions. You can continue asking questions in the chat, but I actually want to hand it back over to Kaylee and Dr. Malloy, because we wanted to share a brief video with you a little bit more about one of our initiative and program that we have here.
Thank you, Kim, for that information. And to all our champions, Kaylee and I are here to assist in whatever way possible. I think I was lacking my coffee this morning to bring a level of excitement and positivity to the campaign. I think that what the United Way is doing and the way that they've transitioned to assist our community and schools is transformative and revolutionary. And for those that know me on the call, that's my game right there. And I think that what they're doing at our school sites and how they're helping our community organizations and our partnership, that's how we move forward, right? This is, when I was a teacher and I would get the forms as well, I was kind of like, oh, well, they're there and they're helping, but they're with us every step of the way at the school site. So I got a call from a teacher at Heights Elementary, and she said, help Adam, I need some assistance. I need to know where to go. We have some families that everything was taken in the tornado. I made one call and it was done, right? They had everything. And I know that Miss Joy alluded to that, but it was quick. And they do some revolutionary work, and I'm really excited to see where they can take us. And I know I'm not going to take any of Miss Jackson's thunder with the community partnership school, but it is happening. It is to say that it is breaking the mold, I think, is a bit of an understatement. But it is community, it is school, and they are working together. Okay. It's hard to find an organization in our area that is not benefiting from the United Way, right? That is not being supported financially by the United Way. So that is a little bit of the why, but I think this video is going to capture some of the aspects of what the United Way is doing. So I'm going to share my screen and then share the video with you guys. And try, you can see my playlist off to the side. You've got the United Way School Resource Center video that is there. You've got Tracy Chapman performing Fast Car Live. In terms of what the United Way is doing, they really are that car, right? That's taking people to a different place, to a better place, to a more supportive and comfortable place. Now the Mac Miller self-care, that's we'll stop there. But this is the video that was done, a little personal story to connect you guys with what's happening.
4-year-old Jayla Outlaw has one of the sweetest smiles you'll ever see. She and her 2 older brothers, Dominique and Noah, are posing here in what looks like a picture taken on Christmas morning. But these gifts didn't come from Santa.
The kids were so excited. They're like, is this for me, Mima? I'm like, yes, it's yours.
Sherry Stallworth's 3 grandchildren attend Franklin Park Elementary School.
A year ago this month, they were in a situation where they lost their mom. So they were living with me Monday through Friday, and we wasn't sure where they were going to sleep. They needed beds. Good morning, this is Angela.
The school put Stallworth in touch with Angela Jackson at United Way.
I talked with her, gave her the background situation, and that next day, I had 2 twin beds delivered to my house. They love it, and it felt really good to see the expression on their face. No, I don't think he wants to sleep in his bed because he was so happy to look at it. He didn't want to mess it up.
In addition to beds, The United Way provided clothes, shoes, and toys.
I'm constantly being asked by Angela and the other young ladies, are you guys okay? Do you need anything? And if I need something, I will let her know, and it's there.
It warms my heart to know that we, the United Way, we're able to make a difference in the community so people can sleep better. Every day that I come to work, I know that I'm making a difference, seriously making a difference in someone's life.
I didn't know that they would be a blessing to me and my family, but I'm glad that they are. If you can donate to United Way to help other families that are in need, I think that you should. They were there for us, and we really appreciate it for all that they've done.
The kids showed their appreciation with a homemade thank you card.
Thank you, United Way, for giving us nice things we love, the bags, toys, and clothes. You all put a smile on us. We thank you from the bottom of my heart.
For Lee Schools TV, I'm Adam Wright.
So great video there, really hitting the why. We can definitely get you guys that video if you wanted to share with the staff. So thank you for putting that in the chat. You know, that was a great segue. The superstar, United Way superstar from that video is with us. So I'm going to turn it over to Miss Jackson. She's the one that makes everything happen. From our, you know, at our community partnership school. So Miss Jackson, I'm going to turn it over to you. Thank you for everything.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me here. Thank you, Martha. Thank you for the thumbs up, Mike. But I must say, Kimberly, yes, I love United Way, and I love my partners, and I love our partner programs. But I thought I was your favorite program. So, but I'll forgive you for that one. But I just want to say, yes, we will share that video with you guys. But if you need me to talk, sorry, I am in Fort Myers Middle. 1 second. So, but if you will have me speak to anybody at your schools, I will be happy to. It's nothing like a good story live and in person, or of course via Zoom. I'm happy to share. So like the great Dr. Adam Malloy said, I'm Angela Jackson. I am the proud regional director over here at the great home of the Ripples, Fort Myers Middle School. I have been blessed to work for our new community partnership schools. This is a great opportunity where we bring services directly into the school. If you don't know much about us, hang on for the ride. I'm going to go quickly because I know you guys will probably have a lot of questions. So in 2020, we received a grant from UCF. It allowed us to move into Franklin Park Elementary School. We have 4 core partners. We work directly with UCF, but our 4 core partners here in Fort Myers would be Lee Health. We have to have a healthcare partner to bring in wellness services. We also partner with Florida Gulf Coast University. We have to have a university partner to bring in expanded learning opportunities. And then we have a lead nonprofit, which would be the Great United Way, who I work for about, I think it's been about 18 years. I know I look 12, thank you very much. So, and then there's also, we couldn't make this partnership work without the school district of Lee County. So with these 4 partners, we come together and we move into the schools. We actually work in the schools. I have staff members over at Franklin Park, and I have staff members here at Fort Myers Middle. We're responsible for the day-to-day activities of the school. When a teacher, a staff member identifies a need for a student, or the student can self-advocate, they come to our office for various needs. They may need counseling, they may need shoes, they may need food, whatever it is, we find a way to make it happen. Some of the great opportunities that Kim talked to you about earlier, like the VITAL program, we bring those programs directly onto campus so that our families, our school families, because we take a holistic approach, we want to serve everyone, from the bus drivers to the custodial staff to the teachers, because you guys are human just like everybody else, right? We have the same needs. If I think back in school, I think it was the Maslow hierarchy of needs. Is that, you guys remember that? So yeah, oh, I was right. So thank you, Mike. I feel better about paying my student loans. So I learned something. So yes, we have the same basic needs, right? No matter who you are. So we serve everyone. We bring those services right here on campus so that we break down barriers to access. We know that transportation can be a barrier. We know that cost can be a barrier. And so we look at all of those things. We do assessments constantly to keep our finger on the pulse to see what's needed in the school. This is a unique and great opportunity because we are under the umbrella of UCF. They created the community partnership schools. If you want to Google it, you'll see schools all over the state of Florida. We are beholden to them and so many other agencies who we partner with to make this partnership awesome. We also follow what we call the feeder pattern. We want to look at the kids at the elementary level and follow them their entire school career, if you will. So we start with them at the elementary level and then we follow them to middle school. We want to know, where are these kids going? We want them to be able to see familiar faces. We also want them to be able to have continuity of services. So if there are services that we're doing over programming and services that we're providing over at Franklin Park, they'll see that on some level at Fort Myers Middle. When our fearless leader, Janine Joy over there, one of the money people at United Way, gets more money, we'll be possibly moving into Dunbar High School. So you see how this works, right? We're going from elementary preschool level all the way up. We want to make sure that our kids are ready and able to go to college because they have been awarded great opportunities that are provided by folks like you. When I talk about having a seat at the table, this program is driven by you guys here. Not only do your dollars count, but because we really tap into who we work with, who are the community members to help drive this. Never do we go anywhere and try to tell them what they need. We sit down with everyone. We do a needs assessment. What do you think? We want to hear from our parents. We want to hear from you guys to really understand what's happening in schools. I was very naive when I came into Franklin Park Elementary. I just knew that every school had their basic needs. I knew that they had a counselor. I knew that they had a nurse, but boy, was I wrong. Our nurse had about 3 elementary schools. She was not available a lot because she was spread thin. The counselor, she had about 4 schools. So it was an eye opener. And every day I would come home and probably lecture to my son about how blessed and lucky he is. We live in the great city of Fort Myers where the weather is great most of the time. And you know, it's a great place, but people really don't know that we have families that are in need. I'll give you one quick story and then I'll give you guys some time back just in case you have questions. But we had a little boy present to the office. The teacher brought him in there. He wasn't talkative. We tried to find out what's going on and the teacher told us that he needed some shoes. Asked him his name, he wouldn't say anything. Asked him, do you know what shoe size you wear? He wouldn't. Still nothing. So we had to do a little role playing and finally got him into some shoes. We put the shoes on that little boy. He stood up. He modeled in our office. He started talking to us. And that was an eye opener to me. He cannot sit still in class. He is not ready to learn. He is not ready for the day because his shoes didn't fit. How many of us go to our desk and kick our shoes off, right? And because they're uncomfortable. We expect our children to come to school and be ready to learn, and they have the burdens of the world. They are carrying the weight of the world on their backs, not knowing where their next meal is coming from, not knowing who they're going home to. We had a little girl, Janine was with me. She was in the hallway crying one day on her way to the office, and then I stopped. Talk to her. Her mom went to jail the previous night. But we wanted that little girl to come to school and be ready to learn. These kids deserve way more. So $1 per pay period, that can scratch the surface and allow us to do what we do, allow us to come into the schools, allow us to make things happen. When people always ask me, why do I do what I do? And I'll end with this. I always tell people I want to turn problems into possibilities. It's just that simple. It is that simple, folks, $1. So you can play the video, but I would love to talk to whomever, any audience, because this is real work. And when I tell you I love my job, I love my job. I come to work every day knowing that I'm going to make a difference. And just my simple hello, how are you today goes a long way. You will never know. So today you have a challenge. Just stop and ask somebody, how are you today? How are you, Miss Renee? You doing okay, Miss Wagner? Great. It's simple. It is simple. It is that simple, folks. So you can make a difference along with me and the rest of my crew. What are we? I don't play sports. Janine did, but I can tell you that I will get your refreshments. I will get your water. I will do whatever you need to do to support you. I will be your cheerleader, rah-rah system by. So I appreciate your time today. I'm going to turn it back over to where I think Kaylee, where are you? You disappeared on my screen. Thank you guys. Have a great day.
Hi, everybody. So I just wanted to open up the floor. If anybody had any questions, we've had some great questions on the chat. Otherwise, I want to give your time back and let you all go. And Kim, Adam, and myself will be working to get this information out to you via email because you guys all had the resources, or so that you all have the resources that you need. So any questions we're accepting now. Otherwise, we're just so grateful that you made the time this morning and hope that you feel charged and ready to share this with your school.
Yeah, and I want to piggyback before any questions really come in, that all great things at the district start at the school site and end at the school site. So we recognize that. I knew that. I know that. So you realize that this campaign, its greatness is right there at your school site, right? Everything, the heart of what we do at the district and the heart of what we do in the community is right there at the school site. So it starts and ends there. Thank you, guys. We really appreciate your time, and please be looking for any communication that you receive from myself, Kaylee, or Kim. And I think that we're gonna, let's set a record here.
I did see some other things in the chat here as well. I wanted to address for you guys. I want to go back a minute. So some people were asking, what do I do with this information? I'm new. If you have a buddy that works at a different school, I want you to challenge them. That's actually what we really would love. If you are, Angela is between the two schools for the CPS team, Franklin Park Elementary and Fort Myers Middle School. And we are going to challenge those two schools. What did that school raise last year? How can we up the ante in that school? Challenge your friend. Oh, I'm going to give up Starbucks so that I can help this student get sneakers. If you start putting something palpable to what you're doing, you really will be a champion for your school. And that's what we really would love, is you to champion those efforts. You can continue to push out the email that we will send to all staff, to all of the staff in your school, to really show them what we're doing. Because as Angela mentioned, sometimes people are not reading, they're not able to read those emails. Those bus drivers are not able to get that information. The janitors are not able to get the information. Maybe the counselor is at 4 different schools. So as a champion, really take that job and own it, and know that you're the champion for the district. You're the champion in helping all of these families and children, and maybe people in your district, as Jenny mentioned, you're helping them too. So thank you guys for any of the questions that you have. It doesn't look like we have any additional ones, but if you do have any, you all have Kaylee's information, my information on the card there as well. And we all want to thank you for, we're going to speak it into existence, hitting and exceeding that $150,000 goal together, because we can definitely do this. I see everybody nodding their heads, everybody drank their coffee, everybody's motivated and energized. So thank you all for a great Thursday morning. We'll leave you with a couple more minutes of your time and your day to get back to school. Thank you all so much.
Happy Friday Eve, everybody. Have a good day.